pleasure to meet this young lady over the Brooklyn campus of the College of New Rochelle, right?
Yes.
And give us your name, my friend.
My name is Gay Lee.
Give it up for Gay Lee, everybody. Interesting topic that we there's a variety of topics, and we'll probably do on later programs. The topic that that's not really fascinating, but something to think about. It's about gun control.
Well, it's a myth that the Constitution gives everyone permission to carry a gun. The Constitution is clear that it's only in the case where you feel like your government is not protecting you. The reason I took the stand on gun control is because black children are dying, and they're dying faster than we can count. When the police are not shooting them, they're shooting one another. We have systems in place that the United States government has not voted to support. The SAFE Act, supporting gun control. Repealing gun control is not repealing your Second Amendment right. Repealing gun control is an assault on your person. If that's what the United States is doing. But what's happening is everybody is able to get a gun. Everyone is able to shoot.
I'm gonna ask a question about that. You know, I remember I was listening to PLS one morning, and Shayla was on, and she mentioned there was a news bulletin that came on, and they had the people, you know, the news media, everybody's rushing up to Connecticut with the Sandy Hook, with this crazy man and his crazy mama. Said back there, first of all, his mama told him to shoot a gun, and they said he shot the mama and went to the school and knocked off everybody else in sight. And I remember the at that time, former President Obama, they tried to pass gun legislation, and the Senate, U.S. Senate, turned thumbs down on it.
Right.
What's your opinion about that?
Well, again, it goes back to the Constitution of the United States. The Constitution is clear that it's only in the case where you feel like your government is not protecting you. The reason I took the stand on gun control is because black children are dying, and they're dying faster than we can count. When the police are not shooting them, they're shooting one another. We have systems in place that the United States government has not voted to support. The SAFE Act, supporting gun control. Repealing gun control is not repealing your Second Amendment right. Repealing gun control is an assault on your person. If that's what the United States is doing. But what's happening is everybody is able to get a gun. Everyone is able to shoot.
I'm gonna ask a question about that. You know, I remember I was listening to PLS one morning, and Shayla was on, and she mentioned there was a news bulletin that came on, and they had the people, you know, the news media, everybody's rushing up to Connecticut with the Sandy Hook, with this crazy man and his crazy mama. Said back there, first of all, his mama told him to shoot a gun, and they said he shot the mama and went to the school and knocked off everybody else in sight. And I remember the at that time, former President Obama, they tried to pass gun legislation, and the Senate, U.S. Senate, turned thumbs down on it.
Right.
What's your opinion about that?
Well, again, it goes back to the Constitution of the United States. The question is your government able to protect you? And if so, then we don't need a militia. You don't need to carry guns if you're being protected. That is it. That's the Second Amendment. There's no law that says that you have a right to bear arms and you can walk down the street with your gun showing, or
In some states, in some localities, they do that.
they do. They do.
I mean, we sit back just like you see people walking down the block being big and bad, you know, with the news hat or news whatever is it, and they bad.
That's because we're not fighting hard enough. We're not fighting them, and we're not fighting it hard enough. When you take on an issue like gun control, you have to take on it with full force. When you look at who's dying, children are dying. So if someone is walking down the street with their gun strapped to their hip, that's okay as long as you're not black. Try walking through a white neighborhood.
And you black.
And you're black and you have a gun and you're talking about your constitutional right.
You won't get out that neighborhood.
So if we can't draw the line all over the place, there's one line and we need to draw it where it needs to be drawn, around the law. When our kids are killing one another, let's first start there. It is probably the single most devastating thing that I've ever experienced. And every time I hear about it on the news, every time I talk to a family who's lost a child due to gun violence, it's like losing one of my children.
You know, it looked like it does. You know, like it doesn't stop. It looked like this keeps going on and on and on. And like, like New York had this, what they call it, the strictest gun laws out. But yet again, you know, it goes through the cracks. You know, people are able to get these guns.
A lot of times, professionals. I'm a professional social worker. A lot of times, we're not saying in the SAFE Act, listing people in a system that says they should not have a gun. We all know someone who is mentally challenged, or someone who shouldn't have a gun. And it's time for us to start saying, he has a gun, he shouldn't have a gun. So
these are the people. These are you know, like we're not saying that, you know, you shouldn't have guns, but also too, you have people who are not there.
Are violent.
They're not there. They're mentally ill, or also too. Well, I don't want to say like that. And they may have a shaky past. Why give them enough?
Exactly. This is not an assault on black people. This is an assault on weapons, and giving them to any and everybody. When an 80-year-old woman would call me to tell me that her son was not taking his medication and out of control and pulling knives out, this is the same person who could get a gun or use their knife or push somebody on the train track. Mental illness knows no color. A break from reality is a break from reality.
I remember I had a former co-worker, and well, he was accused. I used to see him around, you know, like in the downtown area. He was accused of pushing a person on the train car. And he said, because she looked at him he accused that the lady looked at him at a certain way, and that was it.
Scopophobia is a form of illness, and you have to, as a professional, you have to be able to say it. You have to be able to say he shouldn't have a gun, or what do you mean your son has a gun? He's taking medication. He didn't take his medication. Or when you see them walking down the streets acting really bizarre, say, excuse me, are you okay? Because that calls them right back into themselves if you ask them. If you don't, you walk 2 blocks down and you might hear somebody scream. When I
I'd like to ask you a question.
Sure.
Okay. You said you ran for that's why we put on the extra show, because I don't want to put on public access. People think that that you know, in case this runs and someone sees it, they're gonna sit back and want to challenge me for time on, well, they actually can't challenge me on time on the social media page. You say you ran for office, and you said that only in a big organization, a big gun group backed you. Why did they back you?
Well, they backed me because I said to them, we're talking about taking guns away from children and mentally ill. What does that have to do with you? Are you bringing guns into low-income neighborhoods and giving them to gangs? No. Are you giving guns to mentally ill? Are you selling guns? If it's not you, it's not you. You can't stand up and fight every battle because we disagree with it. I was running against a 34-year seasoned senator. And I wasn't really thinking that I was going to win. I was trying to get a point across and a message out. We have to take the guns out of the hands of children and mentally ill. And the reason this gun group supported me is because I support the Second Amendment. And they asked me, how could I strike the balance? I said, well, let's be clear. If you have to wonder whether or not I have a gun in my house, you're less likely to walk through the door and try to hurt me. I'm not talking about protecting myself or my family. I'm talking about this aimless, pointless shooting at innocent people and punching people in the face and just hurting them for some kind of twisted initiation. This kind of problem has to stop. It has to stop, and we have to stop saying that everybody has a right to carry a gun, because they simply do not.
On that note, I'd like to thank you so much.
Thank you.
For
Yes, very good.